A very good evening once again to our listeners, a good evening to our viewers, and a very good evening to our participants. We thank you once again for taking the time to come and learn with us on this special Thursday that is themed financial literacy and money matters. Money is very important to all of us, and our finances are so crucial for all of us. And that is why we took time out of our week to come and learn together and find all those solutions, all those ideas, great ideas that are going to help all of us live a better financial free lives and find solutions to all our communities and our members. I'm very glad to have you all tonight as we learn together. My name is Immaculate Businje. I reside in Dallas, Texas, and I am very glad to have you all tonight. My co-host tonight is Sam Munyandamutsa. He is going to go ahead and introduce himself as we dive in this great discussion tonight. Brother Sam, the floor is yours. Let's go ahead and dive in. Thank you so much, Sam. Take it on.
Thank you, Immaculate. My name is Sam Munyandamutsa. I reside in Portland, Oregon. I'm also I'm a financial professional. I enjoy what I do to just be part of the group, also helping our community.
Thank you so much, Brother Sam, for that wonderful introduction. Yes, I believe we are in it for a treat. Tonight is going to be a great night. I'm sure we're all going to enjoy if we actually decide to participate and learn together. Remember again, this is not a classroom kind of education. This is meant to be an interactive education. If we're all going to learn together and share all the knowledge that we all have. So before we dive into tonight's main discussion that is going to be led by our brother, Sam Munyandamutsa, I'm going to go back in from our previous discussions and answer all the questions that came from our beautiful listeners and our participants. The first question was actually very nice that we always keep getting. The question leads, what specific illnesses are covered under living benefit riders? That is a very, very crucial question. With all our products, as we always discuss, whether term life insurance, whether index universal life insurance, they all come with the living benefits. Actually, the living benefits, that is the crusade we are on. The life insurance, you don't have to die to use. The life insurance that comes to your rescue when you're sick and you're not able to go to work, you're not able to provide for your family, you're not able to provide for yourself, it kicks in, it provides for you. It is kind of life insurance that replaces your income. When we talk about life insurance being able to replace your income, that is exactly what we mean. You're very sick, you cannot go to work, but your mortgage is waiting for you to be paid. Your kids needs to go to school. Your bucket list bills needs to be covered. Remember, my brother and sister, the sickness, the bills are not going to wait for you. They're not going to be compassionate for you because you cannot go to work. Actually, the more you get, the more sicker you get, the more bills you are going to accumulate. So the life insurance with living benefits is actually your to-go rescue. So let me go ahead and share here. Share actually a small presentation that is going to show us what kind of illnesses are covered under the living benefit rider. The rider, what that rider means, it means that you have a life insurance and you have add-ons. Actually, to make this to explain better about this, all our products, all our life insurance products, they give you living benefit rider at free of charge. You don't even have to pay for that. It comes with your protection. Where in the past, we used to have a life insurance that you have to die to use. This was added on for you, free of charge. You don't pay for it, but you actually have a chance to access your money if you happen to be critically ill, terminally ill, or chronically ill. So these are some of the examples of the critical illnesses that are covered under the living benefit riders. So we actually here we have examples of chronic and critical illnesses. As you can see here, the CI stands for critical illness rider benefit. So these are some of the illnesses, not all of them, some of the illnesses that are covered under critical illness. If you happen to be, God forbid, to have a heart attack, to have a stroke, to have cancer, to be going under dialysis, you have a major organ transplant, you're blind, you have paralysis, all these kind of illnesses that are very, very critical and major to you, you don't have to wait to die before you can access your insurance policy if you have one. Let me say, for example, you took on a policy for yourself, $1 million policy or 500,000 policy, because remember again, we advise our clients, take a policy that is good for you, what actually your family needs. Before we advise our clients to take on policies, we do what we call needs analysis. Every family's financial need is different. So sit with your advisor, your financial advisor, go through your needs analysis, find out what you need that is going to help you when you go under, like through a critical situation like this. So to our someone who asked the same question, these are here the questions that are actually the illnesses that are covered. These among the few that are covered. We have so many. Anything that makes you critically ill, you can't be able to go to work, you can't be able to bathe yourself, you can't dress yourself, you can't take yourself to toilet, you can't help yourself eat, you can't transfer yourself from one place to another. All those actually are covered. Like I was saying in the beginning, if you have a policy for $1 million, 500,000, and you have any of these, you access your money while you are living. Remember, you don't have to die to use your policy. That is why we call these insurance products. Life insurance, you don't have to die to use again. And you as actually the owner of the product or the insured, you become your own beneficiary if any of these illnesses happen to attack you. Remember, you're covered today when you're sick, you're covered tomorrow, your family is covered tomorrow if, God forbid, you happen to pass. In the future, if you live a long, long time, you have tax-free retirement benefits. It can't get better. That is actually the best product we all have to have for our families. Then the other question another brother or sister asked was, if I have my life insurance from work and a health insurance as well, why do I need a different kind of insurance? This is another recurring question as well. When we talk about the life insurance from work, we have discussed this again and again, but that is why we are here again to learn together. Because yes, we are covered from work. Our jobs are so good that they can actually give us some subsidies to be able to partake into those benefits from our work. But remember, a group life is not your life insurance again. We'll have to repeat this until we understand. The group life, let me say you work for Amazon, you work for Tesla, you work for whichever company you work with. If you take on a policy, that policy is under that company. It is a product under Amazon. It is a product under Tesla. It's a product under ABC company. You as an employee, you have a little percentage out of that policy to cover you only if something was to happen to you while you are at work. The moment you leave work, you lose that product. So imagine if you, God forbid, have a cancer and you're not able to work, you let go from your job. The moment you leave the company, you leave the product. So who do you head to? Who helps you there when you're sick and your bills can't be paid? Who is going to cover that? And again, when it comes to health insurance, that covers your medical bills. That covers your doctor. It doesn't pay your bills. It doesn't pay your mortgage. It doesn't take your kids to school. Remember that. The only thing that can come to your rescue is your private life insurance product, the one that you own, the one that helps you today when you're sick so that you can get the living benefits, the one that helps you tomorrow when you pass, your family will get tax-free death benefit, and the one that will help you in the future when you grow older and you're able to access a tax-free retirement benefit. I hope I was able to answer this precisely. Now, I'll go ahead and welcome my brother, Sam Munanyandamsa, to take on the training. Thank you, Brother Sam.
Thank you, Immaculate. Let me see if I can share well my slides. And let's see. Okay, now make sure that I set the sound as well, because that's very important. So tonight, my slides are entitled, A Community in Crisis. As you all aware, it seems like our communities are always in crisis. No matter what you see, no matter where you look, whether you look north, south, east, anywhere you look around you, it's almost like we live in reactive mode rather than living in the planning mode. So it seems like when something is about to happen, we don't plan, but we actually look into it when it happens. That's pretty sad in a way that we tend to live that way. It seems like we choose that way rather than being in proactive mode. The title of the slide, it says, GoFundMe is not a solution. Well, we've seen how people rely on this method, on this crowdfunding method, but really it's almost like having a short-term solution rather than having a long-term solution. Our community in the crisis, it is severely underinsured. We have a strong reliance on outside help, which lasts only a short time. GoFundMe, which we rely on it. In most cases, that don't cover everything that we need. We need to change the paradigm and way of thinking and embark on educating our community the right way to live a better life. I'm sure you agree with me on that assertion, and that we really need to do our best to make sure that our communities are covered, rather than relying on the short-term coverage that really doesn't last at all. One of the most devastating things that can happen, it's called the probate court. This is where most people suffers a lot, especially unprepared, and it's preventable, except that we don't really look far. Just imagine that there is over 10,000 accounts open every day on that platform. Just imagine that such a tragedy that could be otherwise avoided. The most important thing to note is that this is actually preventable in the most affordable way. Let's just think and ponder for 1 second, if you could. Now, this is not a joke, by the way, but it's a reality. Let's say if you are a Starbucks or Dutch Brother enthusiast, people like their coffee every morning, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, surely, just an example, you might say, well, it doesn't cost that much, but look at the reality. A cup of coffee that costs you about $8 every morning. If you take that cup of coffee every morning for 5 days a week, imagine the amount of money you're spending. So make that amount. Wouldn't you think that that amount could also be considered wisely invested into what is called a protection? Rather than, yes, I don't mean to tell you that you should give up your coffee, but think again. What is it more important? Your life or enjoyment for one morning? People do have a choice. How does this work? This is where the crisis is in our community unfolds. So here is what we have. When a person goes to the hospital for emergency, and unfortunately life ends, one of the first phone calls is made to the coroner. Another phone call is made to the Social Security office. When that phone call is received, your account is now assigned to what they call the probate court. In that case, everything is frozen. So this particular slide shows what's frozen in the red X, except for two. Now, pay attention to those two accounts. Why do they matter? This is where we come in. This is the crusade that we have chosen. Imagine that people have all of those accounts except for those two. Those two accounts are the ones that withstand anything that cannot be touched by probate court. So if a person by any chance had those two accounts, even one of those accounts, but also any regular accounts, they don't have nothing to worry about. But anything void about those two accounts, basically your life freezes until probate court that can take anywhere from 6 months to a year. How does a family survive? It's impossible. A real quick story. I think most of you who've watched some of those comic movies, there's a movie that has a famous phrase, Wakanda. There's a famous actor, Chadwick Boseman. There was a recording in the news that when he passed away, over 900K and $9,000 was frozen in probate court. His family could not access to that. How tragic is that? You save the money for all that, and when you go, and nothing happens, your family gets nothing. So just think about that. Life can be unpredictable. So, but as you see here, there's a better way. Index Universal Life has a lot of advantages that can alleviate most of that. To better understand this, since most of us are very visual, I want to introduce you to a very, very quick story here. I think you agree with me on that one. So let me see if my technology works very good. Here we go.
The Rockefellers are one of the most powerful, richest, elite families in the world. John D. Rockefeller was the guy who really blew up the entire oil industry in America. And what they do, and the reason why they're still one of the wealthiest and most powerful families on the planet 7 generations later, is because of something called the Rockefeller waterfall method. The Vanderbilts were just as powerful and actually had more money than them. They blew all of their money by the 4th generation. The Vanderbilts literally are not even part of the conversation anymore. What is the waterfall method? The waterfall method is every single individual of the Rockefeller family got a very large life insurance policy put on them. The beneficiaries of those life insurance policies always tied back to the trust. And then inside of the trust was a cash value life insurance policy, which is used as the family bank. Now the family bank is inside the trust, so it acts as like a family vault. Now all the family members can take loans from the cash value life insurance throughout their whole life, and with every single generation, the family trust just keeps getting poured in with more and more and more and more money, therefore making the family richer and more powerful, therefore creating generational wealth.
Well, I couldn't explain better than this movie, no matter how best I try. But as you can see, so isn't this something that we can learn from as a community? I think you agree with me on that one. Let me give you just another quick illustration on how everything unfolds again.
You see, the average black family passes on, listen to this, $0 to the next generation. Yep, I said zero. That means when somebody dies, the family gets nothing. No wonder we cry so much at funerals. We're grieving twice, grieving over losing a loved one and grieving that they didn't leave us anything. You see, other ethnic groups leave wills, but we leave bills. Well, what does Proverbs 13:22 say? A good person leaves an inheritance to his children's children. That means our money should impact at least 3 generations. It should impact ours, our children's, and our grandchildren's. So we have to start building generational wealth.
So, Tim, let's think about it for a second. Do we really want to leave bills or a legacy to our children? Just think about it. You see, this quick video, it might sound like it's just a story. No, it is not. This is where we learn from something that we can see. Unfortunately, what this gentleman is saying, it's all too true. Most of us have lived it, or actually lived it every single day. So, and none of us is immune. So really, really think about it, that we have a solution that can be used. I want to share with you just a quick show. In case you're wondering, why is this a big deal? Look at those banks. These are just a few banks that they listen. Take a look at the amount of money that these banks have in life insurance. So, do you think this is tell a story? I think it does. If a bank like Bank of America can have over 19 billion in life insurance, think again. I think this is something in it. And this is really something that people should not ignore. In here, I'd like to share with you just some few companies on this list. Well, the list actually was long, but I just as I chose a small list. Every single one of these companies owns life insurance. So, how does that help? A big deal. Let me give you a quick story. I won't take too much of your time. I'm sure all of us are familiar with Disneyland. So, the founder, Walt Disney, a while back, when he had his theme park, he wanted to build one of those theme park, not just a place that people can go see things, but they could sell some plays. He went to major banks to ask for a loan to build theme parks, but he was denied, saying that they did not really see the value and the money that could come out of it. So Walt Disney, apparently, he was very smart. In his early days, he invested into life insurance. Did you hear that? Invested into life insurance. So he went and tapped into his own account and had the company to borrow that money and build the theme park. Yes, the theme park. Did you know what happened? It is reported that within months, not years, within months, he had already paid back his own account from the profit. And the banks, when they saw what happened, they could not believe that. So it was a visionary, but was not believed. But he had something else, life insurance, and it did help him to overcome that. Another quick example: the founder of Stanford University, when he first found it, he got to the point where financially it was failing, and so he tapped into his account according to the document, and was able to funnel money for his account to the university. Well, as life will tell today, Stanford University is one of the most thriving Ivy League universities. So there is signal that says this actually works. So we are on the right crusade. in here, we learned that universal index universal life covers all. Live a long life, tax-free, get sick, can go to work. No, you still have all that covered. Die too soon. Yes, there's a coverage. Here I wanted to show something. How do we measure success? Success is not how high you have climbed, but how you make a positive difference in the world. Think about it. And last, faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. So sometimes we kind of wonder, am I really make a difference? What if? Well, what if I say, you know what? I'll take a plunge. You know what? Comfortable doesn't get you anywhere, but uncomfortable make you discover. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Brother Sam. That was very, very brilliant. I don't even
Thank you.
know what to add on that. Yes, yes. Thank you for that informative and well-educated presentation. Obviously, everything that you have said hits home to most of us. Oh, yes, GoFundMe has never been and will never be a solution to our community issues, but we have to think and have actually sustainable solutions to our problems. That was very, very brilliant. I can't thank you enough. Yes, these actually trainings always reminds us what we don't do. We think that some people, some families are rich just because maybe they were born rich. No, it's just because they think beyond their noses. Is there something that we can do as a community? Yes, we can. That is very, very doable. We just have to make a step. Make a step forward to think for yourself, think for your family, and think for your next generation. Think for your community. Me offering a $200, $100 on a GoFundMe, is that going to put food on that kid's table when the parent is gone? That is not going to happen. That is going to put the parent 6 feet under. But when that week is gone, nobody's going to remember that those kids or that family has to survive. So yes, we have solutions out there. That is why we come here to learn together, to find solutions, to discuss what is possible, what can be done for us to live actually a happier life. So thank you so much, Mr. Sam.
Thank you.
We'll go ahead and take, if there is any questions in the audience. We love really to discuss, listen to our listeners and see what actually they have to take. It doesn't have to be a question. You can just come up and give your take on what we have learned from our brother, add something on it, or if there is a question, we'll be happy to take it on. Thank you so much again. And the floor is open to the participants as well.
I just wanted to thank Sam for the presentation and let him know that it was well put, and keep it up.
Thank you, Heather. I appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
I just want to double that you did a great job as well. And as you were speaking, just reminded me, how can we meet people where they're at to articulate the value of for their families?
Thank you. That means a lot.
Go ahead, Mr. Roy. I saw you have your hand up.
Thank you, Brother Sam. That was on point. What are the statistics again on the GoFundMe per day? Did you say 10,000 per day?
Yes.
Wow, that is really amazing. That's in itself goes to show how big of a need that people do have out there, because they are not well prepared to take care of emergencies and also to take care of their families. So the industry is open, and we are an essential part of this industry. And the education that you have presented today was really on point. We thank you, and we will continue to reach out to everybody. People will push back in many situations, and it so happens that mostly the people who are not prepared will tell you they are, only because they don't know better. But we would like to have that opportunity to reach the masses. Thank you, Mr. Sam. Thank you, Ms. Immaculate.
Much appreciated, Ronnie. Thank you so much.
All right. That sounds like everybody loved it. Anybody else has something to add? We're not going to take so much of your time. If nobody has anything, or if you have something in the chat, we'll go ahead and look at it as well. Otherwise, we'll call it a night. We thank you so much again. As always, we always encourage everyone, if you have a guest, to reach out to someone who invited you. We're going to have this recording open to the public because our main point, again, our main reason for this discussion is for educating the masses, our communities. So the recording is going to be out for those ones who were not able to make it. We know life can be busy, but again, the education materials are going to go further than just the people who are able to make it tonight. Again, we want to thank you so much for taking in your time to come in and learn together. We educate one another, we educate our communities. And thank you once again, Mr. Sam, for a great presentation. You all have a good night, and we'll see you again next Thursday. You have
Thank you so much, Immaculate. I appreciate that. It means very much. It means a lot to me.
Okay, sir.